Hey guys, I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving with your families. It is Black Friday and I'm not doing any shopping just because I do not want to deal with the madness that is Black Friday. I don't think I have enough patience and I don't want anything that badly to deal with the massive crowd that is Concord Mills by my house. So, no thank you. But I did decide to do a get ready with me video. I have had just this thought in my mind for so long, and I haven't really sat down and done it just because partly I don't want to do it, and then partly it's I know that just drama will ensue after I do this video. But I thought it was only fair to me, to everybody else, to kind of go through the story that I'm about to share with you guys. So some of you may know that last year, wow, 2 years, well, this May will be 2 years ago, I went to Miss USA as Miss North Carolina, and it's the weirdest story ever, especially for people that don't really follow pageants. I was first runner-up to Allie in, that's really wonky. I can't talk and do makeup at the same time. I was first runner-up to Allie in 2015 4-year, or the title of 2016, and I was first runner-up. And if you follow pageants at all, it's okay, you get the whole speech of, okay, first runner-up, if the winner is not able to fulfill her duties for whatever reason, you will basically take over the title. It sounds a lot more official than that, but basically that's what they're saying. If the winner for whatever reason can't fulfill their duties as Miss North Carolina or Miss USA or Miss Universe or Miss World, then the first runner-up always takes over, which it very rarely ever happens, but sometimes it does. So anyway, I got first runner-up. I was upset. I mean, of course I was upset. First runner-up, I feel is almost harder, is a harder place to get than top 15, because it's or not making top 15, because it's you're so close, but yet so far away, and it's man, what if, what's made me the first runner-up? What could I have done differently where I could have won? And they would have chosen me instead. So it's such a mind game with yourself. And I mean, I remember going back the next day, talking to my parents. I was I'm never gonna compete again. I never want to feel like this again. I was just so upset because in my mind I truly believed that I was gonna win. It wasn't out of a place of just being cocky or conceited. It was out of place of pure confidence, and it was one of those things I mentally knew that this year was mine. I don't know, it's so hard to explain. Any way I say it now just makes me sound cocky and conceited, but anyway, it was just a weird feeling. So anyway, I got first runner-up, went back to school, continued with my last year at High Point. And the whole year, it was just so funny because so many people were oh, Devin, you never know, for whatever reason, you might take over the title. What if, I just feel you might go to Miss USA. What if you end up going? What if you end up going? That's the weirdest thing for someone to ever say to you as a first runner-up. Oh, well, what if you end up getting the title? What if? And I'm why would you even say that? Okay. But I got that comment left and right all year long. Didn't really think anything of it, because I was there's no way I'm gonna end up getting the title. That never happens. And it was just weird, but I still had that weird feeling all year long. So anyway, gosh, at the end of the school year, maybe March, April maybe, I don't really remember honestly, but it was the end of my senior year. I was already in the process of training and working out, not crazy, but I was definitely more in diet mode than I should have or needed to be for 8-9 months out. I don't remember at that time, but I was preparing and training already. I was already, like, I had already gone to market for my wardrobe. Like, I had already got my dress, already ordered my interview dress. So I was already, like, preparing for the following year. I was going to give it one more try. Of course, like, the next day I'm like, I'm never doing this again. And then a week later I'm like, okay, I think I want to give it one more go. And then I'm done. Like, 3 times I'm out. Like, I'm not going back for years and years and years. Like, it's so time consuming and it's draining mentally, and it really wears you down money wise, and it takes so much preparation to compete for these pageants. So it was one of those things where I wanted the title, but you know what, if I couldn't win it within my first few tries, it was like, okay, I just gotta accept it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it one more year. And so I had prepared, and then one day I was sitting in class and I was on Instagram and I saw the post for Miss 52, and I started freaking out. I was like, this is it, this is it, this is it, this is my chance. Like, I knew I was supposed to be there. I know I'm supposed to be at Miss USA this year. Like, I'm gonna win Miss 52. And I called my mom. I called my best friend, and I'm sitting in class texting. Well, I guess I texted them first, and then I called them after class. I was texting them, and I was like, y'all, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna enter myself, and I'm gonna go to Miss USA. And we start planning and plotting, like, okay, this is what we gotta do, like, blah, 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 like, acting as if I've already been chosen. And all of a sudden I go further into the rules, like the contest rules on the Miss USA and Miss Universe website, and all of a sudden I see you cannot be a contestant from this past year. So I was like, okay, never mind. Just kidding. Like, I'm not gonna be able to compete for Miss 52 because I just competed this past year, which I was like, that's just kind of weird, like not really fair. Because it's like, I guess it is fair, but in my mind, it was not fair. I was like, oh, what the heck, like, I could have gone, but no, like, oh, well, okay, never mind, it's still, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm messing around with my face, and y'all are probably like, what is she doing right now? But I get sidetracked. And so basically, I was like, what the heck, like, okay, I guess this wasn't meant to be, like, I guess I'm just not competing, and I'm not gonna go to Miss USA this year. I'll get back on track for next year. And it was just so funny because for months and months I was really getting back on track with everything, and everybody kept making comments to me like, Devin, why are you on a diet already? Why are you religious in the gym already? Like, you know that you don't compete until September, like, you can relax a little bit. But I was like so hungry for the title that I was like, no, I'm gonna go ahead and start now, because if I don't start now, I'm gonna end up regretting it. I didn't want anything to be in my way, like fitness wise, for not winning. So, because my first year that I competed as a miss, I got a swimsuit award, and then the next year I gained some weight and I hadn't been on top of my game like I should have, and that's when I got first runner-up. So it was like haunting me. I was like, no, I'm gonna be in great shape. So, but still, I had so much time, but I was like, I'm gonna start now to be good later on. So anyway, May 25th comes around, and I had been going to this boot camp in Charlotte, Stacks boot camp, every, I think Monday and Wednesday night it was, and I was going to the boot camp and working out, and I remember I was out that night after boot camp with one of my best friends, and then a couple of the guys from boot camp. We're all at dinner, and it was so funny because I had a protein shake, and it was so gross. It was, no offense to anybody who drinks isogenics, it works, but it's disgusting. I personally don't like it. So I had an isogenic shake, and we went to this place called Hot Taco, and I was like, okay, I'm hungry, like, we just ran so much, and they're like, Devin, you have to eat something. So I was like, fine, I'll get, like, lettuce tacos, like chicken lettuce tacos, and then I'll be good. I won't eat the chips, and I'll just have my what's it called? My protein shake. So it's like, okay, I'll be good, but I'll still, you know, have some tacos. So I'm eating my tacos, whatever, go home. I had a membership to a gym at this point called Metabolic, and I'd been going to that gym pretty religiously, and I'd literally just gotten, I think the week before, I'd just gotten a membership there, and it was pricey. And so I was like, I'm gonna do it though for Miss North Carolina USA, like it's worth it, which it was. But anyway, so I was going to that gym, and I had a appointment that next morning. So you have to make an appointment, so I made an appointment, went the next morning, everything was very normal, and on my way home around 10:20, 21 maybe, I think that's the exact time, I got a call from my director, Paula, and it was just so weird because it was the office number, and I was like, why are they calling me at 10:21 on a Thursday morning? And I just didn't think I thought it was weird because it was Miss USA week, so I'm like, why are they calling me right now when, like, Miss USA is going on? Like, do they need my paperwork for September right now? Like, why? I've paid my payments thus far, like, why would they be calling me? I thought it was weird, and I almost let it go to voicemail, but I didn't, and I'm so glad I didn't, because if I would have, I would have been kicking myself. Anyway, so I picked up, and I was like, hi. And it was Paula, and usually Paula doesn't call, it's someone else in the office. So I was like, hi. She was like, hey Devin, how are you? And I was like, I'm good. She's like, are you sitting down? I was like, I mean, I'm driving. What's up? What's up? So casual. And she was like, oh, okay. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, why is she asking me if I'm sitting down? Like, that's just so weird. And she was like, well, I can't remember exact verbiage, but something along the lines of, well, some things have come up, and very calm, as Miss Hall always is. And, well, some things have come up, and we might need you to come this week and compete for Miss USA if you're wanting to, and if you're able. And my mind was just completely shell-shocked, just mind-blown, like, oh my gosh. The week before, I was in Orlando with my other best friend. I'm in Orlando eating whatever I want, not caring, not thinking about anything, barely working out while I was on vacation. Came back, I was working a Kenny Chesney show, and I just went to Hot Taco and boot camp the night before, like, not preparing myself really and truly like I would wish I was at all. And so in my mind, like, everything that had just happened within the past couple weeks just flashed in my head, and I'm like, holy cow, what did she just say? And you know, never mind, I'm not even gonna go into that. So it was like, oh my gosh, what? And I think I just said, what? I was like, I'm sorry, what? And she was like, well, some things have come up, and we might need you to come compete for Miss USA, but I don't know for sure yet. But I just wanted to go ahead and let you know, because right now it's looking that way, but I just needed you to know so you could make your decision and let me know. I was like, I have to call my mom. And that sounds so silly, like, oh, you just got the chance to be going to Miss USA and you're saying you have to call your parents and ask for permission, but you don't understand. And I mean, I'm sure my pageant people understand, that is so much to ask of your family to drop what they're doing for the next couple weeks, fly you out. Not that they had to pay for my flight, but they had to pay for all of their flights, their hotel, the tickets, like, they had to do everything and sacrifice everything on, like, that, where it's not like I won the title and they've been preparing for months and months. So it was something that I wanted to talk to my parents about, because that's a lot to ask from them. So anyway, I was like, I need to talk to my parents, and she was like, no, that's fine, very understanding. I'll call you back in about an hour, and I'll let you know. hang up the phone. I'm freaking out. I'm crying. I call my mom, doesn't answer. Call my dad, doesn't answer. Call my brother, doesn't answer. Who else did I call at this point? I think I'm texting my best friends, freaking out, and then I'm texting my parents. And at this point, my mom's at work, and she can't really be on her phone at work, but she can see her phone. And so I'm like, if I text her enough or call her enough, she's finally gonna look at her phone. And so she did. I said, SOS, SOS, Paula Miles just called me and wants me to go to Miss USA. Still no reply. I get home, I call my aunt, and I'm talking to my aunt about it, and freaking out, crying to her, and she's just soothing me. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting, yada yada yada. And I'm just still crying, freaking out, like you would think someone had died. And my dad comes in, he works from home, so my dad came in I was on the back porch. When I'm like nervous or when I'm on the phone, I pace a lot, so I was on the back porch at this point, and I was freaking out to her, and so he came in. We have a gym in our backyard from our neighborhood, and he was coming in from the gym, and he just looks at me, and I haven't said anything to him at this point. I'm just freaking out to her still on the phone, and he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I might be going to Miss USA, freaking out. And I'm like, I gotta go, I'll talk to you later. I hang up on her, talk to my dad, freaking out to my dad, explaining him the whole story. And then finally my mom calls back. She's crying and freaking out and just going insane, as you would assume. And I can hear her telling, like, she just left work. She didn't say bye. She did say bye, but she didn't like ask. She just left work. She's leaving screaming, and of course I can hear her because we're on the phone at this point, and she's just like, I gotta go. Devin just called me. She might be going to Miss USA. She's screaming that throughout Macy's at this point, and which was just hysterical looking back to think of her doing that. Where'd my beauty blender go? Okay, sorry, I lost my beauty blender. Anyway, so she's like freaking out, screaming through Macy's. My daughter might be going to Miss USA, I gotta go. So my mom leaves work, comes home. I get in the shower, start packing. All the while, I have no idea whether I'm going to Miss USA or not, because I might be needed. I might be going, I don't know at this point. And I mean, Paula didn't know. So it was one of those things where I knew nothing. I was thinking the worst, like I had no idea what was happening, but all the while I was still planning everything. So get in the shower, start packing, doing my makeup, finally get a call like an hour and a half, almost 2 hours later, from Paula, and she's like, okay Devin, what have you decided? I'm like, yes. And she's like, okay, well your flight leaves at 8 p.m. tonight. And at this point it's like maybe going on 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was like 12 something. She's like, okay, your plane leaves tonight at 8. Can you do that? I'm like, yes, I can. She's like, what interview are you wearing? And I was like, I got a new one. It's not the same one I wore at state. She's like, okay, can you send me a picture of it? Like, probably a poor lady. She was probably scared to death. Like, crap, I hope I like it. Sent a picture. Got that approved. What about evening gown? Can you just wear your white one? Does it still fit and everything? No, I don't have that one anymore. I sold it. She goes, oh dear, what are you gonna wear? I was like, I have one that I was gonna wear to state. I can send you a picture. Send her a picture. She approved. I was like, okay, great. Well, that worked out. And we kind of went through like all these little things of what I would need throughout the week, and throughout the couple weeks that I would be there, and packing and paperwork. And I remember they sent me over so much paperwork that I actually ended up doing on the plane on the way there. I just printed it all out and had it ready to go. And then one of like Miss Universe's social media slash, I don't even know what his title would be, but one of like the host type guys, I think he was our prelim host, Nick. He called me, had a full interview with me, again, while I'm packing and getting ready. I had a couple girlfriends come over and they were helping me pack, and they brought over some clothes for me to wear and things that they had used in the past. And at this point, everybody always asks me, well, how did you just get a full wardrobe? I keep mostly everything from pageants, so everything that I wore at Miss USA was either a couple of things were sponsored and a couple of things were from a good friend, and then the rest is just stuff that I had worn over the years. So it was just crazy because it all just came together so quickly, and it was a matter of I just threw everything I had into suitcases. It wasn't like, oh, you can plan this out like outfit by outfit. That's how I would normally pack, like very organized. But in this case, I just had to literally throw everything in a suitcase and hope that it worked out. So that's what I did. I threw everything in, I think I had like 4 or 5 suitcases. Like, it wasn't that bad compared to some of the girls who had like 8 or 9. So it was a fairly small amount. But so I threw everything in suitcases, and then I sent my mom out to go get me some more hair extensions, because at this point I had had them for so long, and usually I get mine from Eye for Design, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get new ones in time. So go to Sally's, pick me up some, and she brought the wrong kind, so, or the wrong color, so she had to go back and exchange it. Didn't have my nails done, didn't have a tan, like all of this stuff that like people normally prepare for Miss USA, like I didn't have any of that. So it was like, hope you like me as I am. And gosh, I guess that was really it packing wise. I mean, I just kind of threw it all together. But anyway, so I left around my house around 5, so like 4 hours later, and I went to CVS or Walgreens or something, packed some other stuff up, and I got to the airport by 6, and I just had so many people calling me that did know. Some people knew, and some people, it was like very hush-hush, because I don't think anybody really knew what was going to happen, so it was just easier for everybody to not know and be kind of, I look yellow in this light, be unsure of things. So it's like, some people knew, some people didn't. So it was just crazy, because the next day everyone knew. It was just insane. So anyway, got to the airport, filled out all my paperwork on the plane, got there, had all of my fittings within the first day and a half. And I mean, I got there and all the girls were already in the middle of registration, finishing photo shoots, finishing videos, and I had to basically everything that they did in 2 days, I had to do it in half a day. So everything was so fast for me. It's not like I had time to pick out this and that or the other or be organized. It was like, okay, this is what you get, which that's what I signed up for. So what happened? Gosh, that first day I woke up, got my hair and makeup done. I had all the photo shoots and interviews and stuff like that. And then I got to meet most of the girls after my first set of photo shoots and interviews. And they were so, so sweet and so welcoming. And it was just so funny, because almost every single one that I actually talked to is like, so how did you pack? Like, how did you do that? I don't know how you did that. I was like, I have no idea how I did that either. It just kind of happened. So it's just so funny, because that's like the first thing on a girl's mind is like, clothes, what? How'd you do that? So I don't know how I did that. And then Miss USA happened, and it was a great experience. I mean, honestly, it was such a blur. I feel like a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, were you so nervous? And I was like, I didn't really have time to be nervous, because I didn't really have time to even grasp what I was going through and doing. It was one of those things where I just kind of did it and then thought about everything afterwards. I didn't really, to me, I didn't have a choice. To me, it was, I'm going to Miss USA. It's not a matter of, oh no, I think I want to compete again next year. It was like, you're going to Miss USA. You gotta get your stuff together and do the best you can. And I think that was one of the hardest things for a lot of people to understand, because so many people afterwards were like, well, they were either mad at me, which a lot of people don't really realize. A lot of people were mad at me for taking over the title. A lot of people gave me a lot of backlash because, well, how dare you do that? Well, it's either I compete or we have no one. So what do you want? Like, I don't know. And then so many people were like, oh, I just wish you would have gone back and just competed again and just said no. And I'm like, yeah, I easily could have done that, but no one would be Miss North Carolina, and that would be on me. That would be on my conscience, and I can't imagine if I would have gone back to compete next year and I wouldn't have won, and then I would have had that on my conscience of, wow, but I had the chance to go to Miss USA and I turned it down because my pride, I just wanted to come back and win it myself. Like, I can't imagine going through that. I would rather go to Miss USA and do my very best like I did, rather than say no and then go and compete again and then not win, and then have that on my conscience forever of, oh, well, you had the chance and you missed it. So for me, it was the only choice I had, but I did get a lot of questions and backlash from it, which is totally, the questions I totally get, because I mean, people all the time, it's like, how did you even decide? Like, that's such a hard decision. And you know what, it is, but it isn't. Like, if you were given that same choice and same decision, I don't think that many people would have said, you know what, no, it's okay, Miss Paula, I think I'm just gonna come back next year instead. Good luck. So I think it was the obvious choice, but apparently to some people it wasn't. But it was definitely hard because, you know, coming back from Miss USA, you only have so much longer as Miss North Carolina. Like, my year was basically over. I only had a couple months left. It ended in June, and the pageant was like June 4th or June 5th. No, June 5th. It was my dad's birthday, and it ended on June 5th, and then, I mean, I gave up my title at the end of September, so I only had a couple months as Miss North Carolina, and it was so hard because I wanted to do as many appearances as I could and, like, get to really take advantage of it, but it was hard because, you know, I already had my summer planned out. I already had trips. I already had work commitments. I already had things that I had in the books that I could not take off, so it was so hard because it's like, you want to do as much as you can as Miss North Carolina while you have the chance, but it's also, it was so last minute. There's only so much you can do. So it was really hard because it was a tug of war of my brain, because it's like my mind and my mind was so split. I wanted to do more, but I also am like, I can only do so much. I can only handle so much as a human. And I think at Miss USA, I was just go, 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 go. And then as soon as I came home, I didn't realize how truly exhausted and mentally drained I was. And I was just out of it for a long time. I was just so like, wow. I mean, did I regret it? No, absolutely not. But I was still very just like, holy cow, I don't even know what just happened. So it was weird, but you know, anywho. So I guess just it was hard because, I mean, you want to experience it all. I never got a crowning moment. I never got all the sponsorships and appearances and things like that. I didn't get any of that. I got as much as I could get, and that's just how it is. I'm not blaming that on anybody. That's just how the situation was. And I mean, yeah, if I could have just gone and won on my own, I would much rather have done that. But I think everything happens for a reason, even though I still don't understand why everything happened. I mean, I have hints and clues every once in a while. I'm like, wow, well, if I wouldn't have done Miss North Carolina USA and been to Miss USA, like, I wouldn't be able to do this, or I would be blah, blah, blah. Like, I think everything happens for a reason, so it's just kind of, up to time to kind of reveal those reasons to you, but there's parts of the story that are not mine to really share. There's some things that I feel like I'd love to tell the world and kind of go into the nitty-gritty of things, but some parts of my story are not completely mine, so it's hard to go through and tell you the whole world every single little part of it, but I'm here to share as much as I can. So it was definitely bittersweet. I would do it all the way over again 100 times, but it's just crazy how life works. But I think that's really all the story. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it gets me like emotional every time I think about it. And I mean, it's kind of hard not to, but anyway, if you guys have any other questions or comments about anything, let me know in the comments or messages, and I'd be happy to answer anything. And you know what? I mean, it did put me in the place I am now. I mean, I would not be doing makeup and working at these pageants now that I once competed in if I didn't go through that experience, because who's to say I would have ever won, and then what would I be doing? Probably be working some crazy 9-to-5 that I am not meant for. So, I mean, you just have to take everything with a grain of salt and take it as it comes. I know I'm just kind of rambling now. I'm just kind of going through and thinking about everything. But I just kind of wanted to sit down and be able to talk to you guys and tell you my side of things, because I know social media, the news, everything kind of gets it all jumbled, and so many different stories have gone around about me and the other girl, and I just think it's funny, honestly, to hear everybody's 2 cents about something that didn't happen to them and they don't really know anything about, but I just thought I would kind of go out and say my 2 cents on it and kind of share my side of things, because I know a lot of people haven't really heard my side. It's more of like what's been posted about me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little story time, Get Ready With Me. If you guys like these Get Ready With Me videos, let me know and I will be happy to do more of these. I can find lots of things to talk about. I just had this on my heart for a long time, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna finally sit down and film it and be done. So it's out there now. Well, when I post this, it will be. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything, or just have anything nice to say, I would really appreciate it. Okay. Yeah.
I know all about it. I went to school in Greensboro.
Oh, okay,
I used to
cool.
drive the Charlotte line.
Awesome. I went to High Point University.
You went to High Point University. Furniture capital of the world. High Point University. Nice.
So now I'm just videoing you.
Hi.
It's a video. You can.
Sorry? Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Hi.
Yes. I'm working.
Yes, ma'am. G-A-N-T. Yeah.
Devin, you are stunning, and I am honored that I look like you. But anyway, please tell Renata I say hi, and good luck tomorrow. I know it's a big day, but you're gonna be great, and you are gorgeous, so I know you're gonna kick butt. But thanks for saying hi, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Hey Dev, it's Chris and the guys.
Hey.
Just wishing you good luck tonight and kill it, girl.
It's Zeke.
My name is Devin Gant. I'm 23 years old and I'm Miss North Carolina, USA.
I was the first runner-up, and I had to get ready for Miss USA within a 6-hour period when they told me that the pageant winner had to go home.
As first runner-up, you need to be prepared to take the position if anything ever happens, but you don't see this happening ever. I just feel extremely blessed. I am not good at basketball, soccer, or softball or anything like that. I do a lot of boxing. I get all my stress out, I get all the tension out in my body, and I just love it. I was a Charlotte Hornet honeybee, and I absolutely loved it. Cheerleading, dancing, it was my thing. It was the NBA, it was huge. It was a great experience. I'm extremely crafty. I love to paint, especially with watercolors. I have a huge wall in my room that is just a bunch of different paintings that I've done throughout my college years. I also do a lot of my own pageant jewelry. Usually it's nothing planned out. I just kind of wing it and say, okay, this is a good direction, and I'll start over and be like, no, I don't like it, and I'll have to take the hair dryer and take all the hot glue off and then start over, but it's a creative process for me. I love to build up, take down, and start over and just be as creative as possible.